Mitch Miller here. It is March 21st, 321 at 8 p.m. March 21st, 2022. And thought I'd make another video. This one, I'm going to talk a little bit about why I decided to drive to Washington, D.C. in 2016, at the end of 2016 in September, end of September. Now this computer came from my spouse's workplace. It's the computer I was talking about in the story when I was in Denmark, the Magic Apple that monitored her in her office, planted there by the Masons. The maple tree is the Masons because Hillary's dad's cousin is a carpenter, contractor, and I assume a Mason. His last name is Maple. So some of that might go towards some of the videos I made in Denmark explaining a little bit of my riddles and stuff like that. My theory was that since a maintenance guy said that this computer was not on the books for the CBA, he told my wife multiple times that she could just take it home so that it could stop spying on her at work and begin spying on us at our house, I guess. It's all paranoid, delusional stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit about hallucination I might have had, or it might have been real. It's based on this computer that... Zell, are you okay? You alright, Zell? A computer that was sitting on this desk, same spot. It was my wife's college computer. Her ex-boyfriend helped her pick it out. He was a computer guy. I always felt like he installed a bunch of backdoors on that computer so that he could access it, see what was going on in her life anytime he wanted. It was another Apple computer similar to this. It was like a G3. It might have been a little bit older. It was thicker. It was white. It's up in our attic right now. I used it to edit my videos using Final Cut. A copy of Final Cut that came from Finland, hypothetically. It came from my friend Bill's wife. She left it for him to give to me. Anyway, I used to use the computer to search for a lot of porn. The other computer, not this computer. This computer's never accessed any porn. It was in a professional office. I used it to take care of my business, basically, as well as other things in this room, until I felt, I don't remember if it was 2014, 2015, I felt that I was being profiled using the type of pornography I looked up. I thought it was some kind of top secret intelligence program to profile people, specifically men, because they consume a lot more pornography, to profile them in certain ways. So I stopped using computers for pornography in 2015, 2014. I switched to magazines. I bought a magazine. A DVD came with that magazine, a pornography DVD. I sometimes pop that in the TV downstairs. It's the only video pornography I own. It's the only video pornography I've really ever used. Even when I looked up pornography on the computer, I used still images. And yeah, so that's the story on the computer up in my attic. The other Apple computer. Not this computer, not the Magic Apple. The other Apple she owned back in college, with hypothetically backdoors by her ex-boyfriend, who could have probably seen what kind of pornography I was looking at and sold it to the highest bidder in New York City where he's located. Which, on a side note, is why I called his cell phone from a payphone on Pitt campus that I was using to investigate pharmaceutical companies. I didn't want to use my own phone, so I used a system of payphones around Pitt's campus, paid 50 to 75 cents, and called these pharmaceutical companies in a time when I was off medication. I also called the number of her ex-boyfriend and left a message saying, I hope you're not spying on me, because I'll drive to New York City and take care of business like I said I would back in college when he was stalking my now wife and somewhat me, because he has some mental illness as well. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. I was off medication. Anyhow, these are all just theories about how her ex-boyfriend might sell information about me to some kind of black market in New York City. I'm not that important though, so I doubt that that happened or ever happened. He had access to the computer though, back when she was dating him in college, so he could have put any number of spyware, malware on there. That brings me to the reason I drove to DC. In late 2016, I don't think I had really been using that computer, the computer that sat here, we'll call it the G3. And I hadn't really been using it. But for some reason, I think it was after going to Denmark the first time for the whole month of July, because of my physical symptoms. It must have been in September sometime. I turned on the G3 computer and I opened up the trash bin because I noticed it was full, and it was full of all of these files that I'd never seen before. I don't know where they came from. A lot of them said like Nazi, skinheads, racial stuff on the file names, a lot of numbers and digits and decimals, just a lot of files in the trash bin, like the computer had been hacked and somebody installed incriminating racist evidence on the computer. Didn't know what to do. I freaked out. This might have been right before I left for DC. I didn't take the G3 computer with me to try to show someone. I figured it would all disappear anyway. And again, it could have been a hallucination. It might have been a hallucination. I think I tried to empty the garbage bin on the computer, and I probably erased everything anyway. But in my mind, all those files were there. There were 100 files. I didn't delete them. My wife never used the computer after college. She has work computer. She had a laptop at the time. I mainly used it for editing and pornography. Now, I know porn sites are notorious for installing malware and spyware, but the fact that they had actually hacked the computer and installed a bunch of racist files on there that I didn't really look at because I was afraid. It's interesting. It could have been a top secret MK Ultra program to incriminate senators who have computers that implant, could have been a plant to plant racist connections with senators, or who knows. I don't have a lot of security on my network here at my house. I don't know how to do it, nor on my computers really. We have Apple computers, and we feel that they protect the consumer to a higher degree than most other types of computers. Anyway, I freaked out when I had actual evidence that somebody had hacked the computer. Before it was all theories. And I might have panicked a little bit. I was in a kind of paranoid, I was off medication, I was in a paranoid and delusional state of mind, but I saw the files and I don't know where they came from. And the beauty of hackers is that they can remove them all. If I would have took it to DC and said, look, all these files are on my computer, as soon as I turned the power on, they probably would have deleted, and I just would have looked like a crazy person with some big computer I drugged down to DC. So that's all I really wanted to talk about. Now I have this computer. I'm writing a book on it. Trying to knock out a few pages every day in the evenings. Plan to publish it on Amazon probably, so that 5 people can read it. I'll get $2.59 in revenue from it, but whatever. I think it's an interesting concept. 68 days in a mental hospital without speaking and taking handwritten notes on everything. Hopefully it'll be done in the next month or 2. Hopefully somebody doesn't hack the computer or erase it or shut this computer down when I start typing stuff on it. But that's one of the reasons I left for DC, is that someone had hacked the computer, or I was so delusional, or I was so ill that I hallucinated a bunch of files. I don't really have visual hallucinations usually, but it's not impossible for me to experience them. So that's my video for today. I'm sure I'll come up with another one for tomorrow. Who knows if I'll actually record it though.